We're live.
Good evening and welcome to the House Judiciary Committee. We have a short voting session tonight. It's 8 o'clock on March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day. We have three bills that have come out of different subcommittees, I think, except, well, two of the three have. So House Bill 234 is Delegate Williams' bill that came out of the Criminal Law Subcommittee. There were amendments to the bill. Who would like to talk about it? Delegate Williams, would you like to talk about it, or Delegate Moon? It was your subcommittee.
Either way, Delegate Williams, you want to go for it? It's your bill.
All right. Let's do this. There are amendments. Let's make the motion on the amendments. Is there a motion on the amendments?
Move the amendments.
Is there a second? All right, fine. So now we'll go to discussion. Delegate Williams, go ahead.
Sure. So the amendments that were made to the bill, it removes intentional or reckless and replaces it with willful and malicious under section B. Additionally, it strikes the language under interference, removes the language by obstructing, intimidating, or otherwise jeopardizing the safety of the service animal or its handler. It also reduces the penalties down from the original posture of the bill. It's still a misdemeanor, but a person in violation of section B1 or B2 is a misdemeanor of imprisonment not exceeding 2 years, a fine not exceeding $2,500 or both. A violation of B3 is also a misdemeanor with an imprisonment penalty not exceeding 1 year or a fine of $1,000 or both. The other amendment has to do with the section regarding restitution and modifies the shall to a may. The court may order restitution in these particular situations, which should deal with some of the concerns that were raised by some of the advocates and others. There's also an addition to the bill just to clarify that this bill does not apply to commonplace veterinarian services, including if an animal has to be quote unquote put down for veterinarian reasons. And it also includes the definition from the Human Services article that defines what a service animal is. And so those are the amendments to the original bill that was filed.
All right. Is there further discussion on the amendments? Delegate Juanita Fisher.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Delegate Williams. I just wanted to clarify with the new amendments of this, because I was a little confused from this morning. Does the dog on dog action still in the bill, or it's not in the bill?
The dog on
Criminal action, Mr. Chair.
Yeah,
To hurt the dog,
and Delegate
that's what I
Fisher,
meant.
so let me clarify. We did leave the bill intact as it was originally drafted in that respect. And the reason why is because we went with the higher standard across the board, willful and malicious. And just so people understand what the bill actually does now with these amendments, it makes it a criminal offense subject to 1 or 2 years in jail if you willfully and maliciously kill, injure, or otherwise mess with someone's seeing eye dog. Again, they had to do it on purpose, and it was willful and malicious. And it includes if you sick your dog on someone's seeing eye dog. And I know there was questions about how you would prove that, but again, the standard is high here. It would have had to have been willful and malicious that you sicked your dog on them in some way.
Thank you for the clarification, Mr. Subcommittee Chair, and I don't think I'll say anything else.
Okay. Are there further questions or comments or statements? Delegate Deborah Davis.
I was the lone dissenter in committee, and I remain a dissenter because I believe that this goes way further than a dog attacking a human being, the criminal statute that deals with a dog attacking a human being.
Okay. Is there further discussion?
Yes.
Yes,
Where are we? Delegate Crutchfield.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, I guess I have a couple of questions. I mean, have there been actual instances where this has happened in the state of Maryland to cause us to criminalize a situation like this?
If I can speak to that, Mr. Chair.
Delegate Williams.
Yes, there hasn't been any instances directly in the state of Maryland where a dog has been killed by another dog. I think earlier in the subcommittee, there was a representative from the Seeing Eye Dog company who talked about instances where dogs have been attacked, but not necessarily killed. We are one of only 5 states in the country that does not have anything remotely along these lines. There are, as you know, we're in line currently with states like West Virginia and Montana, who do not have any type of similar legislation on their books as it relates to service animals. And I'd like for the committee just to remember, a service animal is different than an animal that you would get at PetSmart. This is an animal that really is an extension of the person. The person who utilizes this animal, without this animal, would not be able to enjoy a decent quality of life. They use this animal in order to go to work, in order to visit their family, in order to just engage in the very common things that you and I may take for granted. And so that's my, I guess, my long answer to your question, Delegate Crutchfield.
Delegate Crutchfield.
Just a follow-up. Thank you, Mr. Chair. So really, what we're trying to do, or what I would think a person as an owner really would want, is to be made whole for any situation where there's damages, to their property, because that's what this is, versus this being a situation where they actually have to pay, do jail time for. So I guess, I'm just wondering, are these service animals insured by most people? I mean, to me, that's really the issue, is more the civil side than the criminal side.
Right. Their insurance is not necessarily always readily available for service animals, just given the uniqueness of the animals. Delegate Crutchfield, I spoke with one of the advocates about that question, because that question did come up in subcommittee. And so while there may be some civil remedies that someone could have if they are harmed, obviously they would have to hire an attorney to be able to exercise those remedies. They wouldn't have the right to counsel in those situations. And so, so that's not necessarily as something readily available. And just the average cost, if I were blind and needed to purchase a Seeing Eye Dog, the average cost is somewhere between $60,000 and $75,000 for such an animal in those situations.
Okay, thank you very much, Delegate Williams.
Thank you,
You're
Delegate
welcome.
Crutchfield. Delegate Erican, then Cart.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to really quick just speak to this. So we worked really hard on this to make sure that people who accidentally were doing any of these things were not captured in this part. That's why we changed the language to willful and malicious, so that we would make sure that we weren't accidentally including people who truly did not mean to hurt it. And I brought this up during our subcommittee. If you are willfully hurting the service animal of someone who needs it to survive, it is really borderlining on a hate crime, in my opinion. So I think this is really a compromise so that we can make sure that we're protecting those of our Marylanders who are disabled. To me, this is about way more than a dog. This is really borderlining on a hate crime if you're willfully hurting somebody's service animal. So I'm a big supporter of the final product, and thanks to the sponsor for working with us so hard in subcommittee on this. I know that was a heavy lift for you.
Delegate Cardin, please.
Thank you. I love this bill. I'm going to vote for this bill. And just most of my comments were already taken, but I just wanted to say that if in fact there is insurance or there's some kind of payment made, the judge has discretion to make the restitution the appropriate amount to equal what the replacement cost is, and not necessarily to give a windfall. So I think this is a great bill. I'm looking forward to voting for it, and I would move the question.
Second.
All right, there's a motion for the previous question and a second. Seeing, I think we've had this at subcommittee quite a while. All in favor of moving the previous question, say aye.
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 Opposed? Any opposed?
Nay.
Who voted no? All right, Delegate Davis is against moving the previous question. We're on the amendment.
I'm sorry. You know,
No, you're just, I think I know
I'm
what.
practicing.
No, I just was making sure, that's fine. I'm just wanting to make sure we're going the right direction. All right, so first for the amendment, all in favor of the amendment, please raise your hands. Delegates Erican, Cardin, Shetty, Griffith, Williams, Conaway, Watson, DeMocomas, Fisher, Malone, Atterbury, Cham, Jones, Bartlett, Moon, and Lopez. Anybody opposed? Now, Delegate Davis. Delegate Davis, okay. The amendments are adopted. We're on the bill as amended. Is there a motion?
Move the bill.
Motion favorable. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, moved and seconded. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, we'll do a roll call. Vice Chair,
Yes.
Delegate Erican,
Yes.
Delegate Bartlett,
Yes.
Delegate Cardin,
Yes.
Conaway,
Yes.
I think Cox is excused. Crutchfield,
No.
Deborah Davis,
No.
Juanika Fisher,
Sorry, yes.
Delegate Grammer,
Yes.
Griffith,
Aye.
Rachel Jones,
Yes.
Lopez,
Yes.
Malone,
Yes.
McComas,
Yes.
Moon,
Yes.
Shetty,
Yes.
Cham,
Yes.
Watson,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Two out. I think that was 16-2. Is that correct, staff?
Yes, that's correct. 2 against.
All right, thank you very much. All right, now we're going to Delegate Erican's Bill 931. That came out of Family and Juvenile. Am I correct? Okay, it came out of the Family and Juvenile Committee.
That is correct.
Are there amendments, Madam Subcommittee Chair?
No amendments.
No amendments, so this is favorable. All right, is there a motion on the bill?
Move the bill.
Second.
Second.
Motion and a second. This, I think, would be Delegate Erican's very first bill.
Move unfavorable.
Wait, no, it's too late. We've already got a favorable and a second. Is there discussion on House Bill 931?
What does the bill do again?
All right.
You want me to answer?
Yeah, Delegate Erican, go ahead.
It's a really simple bill. Basically, if your child is in a daycare setting and a mandatory report is triggered, so we already have mandatory reporting laws. This would just require that any child that was potentially a victim or a witness to the event gets a letter home, letting the parent know that something occurred in case the parent wants to reach out to public, like a therapy or something like that, just in case their child was hurt or witnessed some kind of harm. So, because there was a case, and we've had this little boy come in twice now, where he was molested at a daycare, and his mother didn't find out for more than a month what happened to him. So, and then other parents whose children were potential victims or witnesses to what happened, many of them still don't know. So, that's just not acceptable. So that's what this bill will remedy. If there's a trigger of the mandatory reporting, then a letter has to go home to let parents know that something may have occurred so they can get help for their kids quickly. Because this kind of trauma can really dig its heels and hurt people if they don't get help.
Are there further questions? Seeing no further debate, I think we'll do a roll call. Okay, don't see anybody else. Listen carefully this time. The Vice Chair,
Yes.
Delegate Bartlett,
Yes.
Delegate Carden,
Okay, yeah.
Delegate Conaway,
Yes.
Delegate Crutchfield,
Yes.
Delegate Deborah Davis,
Yes.
Delegate Juanita Fisher,
Yes.
Delegate Grammer,
Yes.
Delegate Griffith,
Yes.
Delegate Rachel Jones,
Yes.
Delegate Lopez,
Yes.
Delegate Malone,
Yes.
Delegate McComas,
Yes.
Delegate Moon,
Yes.
Delegate Shetty,
Yes.
Delegate Cham,
Yes.
Delegate Watson,
Yes. Yes.
Delegate Williams.
Yes.
For her first bill, Delegate Erican.
Yes. Thank you all.
19. All right. Now we're going to House Bill 1072. There are amendments. And we'll go to Delegate Deborah Davis to just put on the record what the amendments do. Delegate Davis. This is
Amendment?
pretrial bill. Am I right? Pretrial bill. I have a set of amendments
From the Charles County delegation.
from the Charles County delegation.
Okay, so Charles County has been working with the Criminal Justice Coordinating Commission for a long time, and we finally came together with a pretrial bill. At the last minute, some of the amendments were the judiciary wanted to remove limitations on their ability to include people in pretrial. That was one of the amendments. The sheriff didn't want responsibility, so we changed that to remove the sheriff from responsibility. And the last thing was there was some reference to expenses, and we took that out. And all of this is supported by the delegation.
All right. Can we have a motion on the amendment, please?
Move favorable.
Is there a second? On the
Second.
amendment? There's a motion and a second on the amendment. If we could go back to the big screen. Thank you. All in favor of the amendment, please raise your hands. Delegates Carden, Shetty, Griffith, Williams, Conaway, Watson, McComas, Fisher, Malone, Atterbury, Cham, Jones, Davis, Bartlett, Crutchfield, Grammer, Moon, Lopez. Anybody opposed? Seeing none in opposition, the amendment is adopted. Whereon the bill is amended. Is there a motion?
Move favorable.
Motion for
Second.
favorable and a second. Any further discussion on the bill as amended? Seeing none. All right, the Vice Chair,
Yes.
Delegate Erican,
Yes.
Delegate Bartlett,
Yes.
Delegate Carden,
Yes.
Delegate Conaway,
Yes.
Delegate Crutchfield,
Yes.
Delegate Deborah Davis,
Yes.
Delegate Juanita Fisher,
Yes.
Delegate Grammer,
Yes.
Delegate Griffith,
Yes.
Delegate Rachel Jones,
Yes.
Delegate Lopez,
Sorry, yes. Thought
Okay.
the space bar would work.
Delegate Malone,
Yes.
Delegate McComas.
Yes.
All right, we're getting there. Delegate Moon,
Yes.
Delegate Shetty,
Yes.
Delegate Cham,
Yes.
Delegate Watson,
Yes.
Delegate Williams.
Yes.
That'll be 19. I do want to say again, and I don't know if I made light of it, but I did not mean to make light of it. Certainly in the hearing, I want to commend Charles County for being part of pretrial. I think this is a great thing, a good thing, and a good thing for the criminal justice system in Charles County. And I just again would like to reflect back on the conversations we were having at the beginning of the pandemic, where this looked a little more frustrating. So I'm very happy that we're at this point, and hopefully we can get this across the street too. All right, there are 4 bills: House Bill 93, 697, 973 from Chanel Branch, and 1082. All are withdrawn. We have letters of withdrawal from those sponsors. Delegate Henson's bill on local youth violence review committees. Delegate Williams' bill on residential property, on shielding, but there will be another shielding bill down the line here that we'll hear about tomorrow or the next day. Delegate Chanel Branch's bill on grandparent visitation, and Delegate Lopez's bill on real-time digital spotters.
Move unfavorable.
There's a motion for an unfavorable on the group as a whole. I don't hear, is there a motion to pull any one bill out? I didn't think there would be. Hearing none. Motion for an unfavorable. All in favor of the unfavorable withdrawn, please say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion for an unfavorable withdrawn adopted. That concludes this tonight's voting session. So we will be back tomorrow. We will probably have a vote. My guess will be potentially in between sessions. Tomorrow will be double sessions tomorrow. Civil law is meeting at 9 a.m.
9 a.m. We have 3
9.
bills and we're going to get them out. We're going to deal with them. We're going to be finished with them, regardless of what happens.
What about Legislative Black Caucus?
When is Legislative Black Caucus?
It starts at 8:30, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Do you know how long Legislative Black Caucus is projected to go?
It usually
Probably
goes
at least
full time
an
before
hour.
4.
An hour,
Yeah.
all right.
An hour.
We will,
Why don't we
we
we'll
also
start it-
have we have another block of time for civil, and I think we can do civil and public safety at the same time. Public safety is meeting at 12:30. We can do civil law at the same time. So we will walk and check at the same time, and we'll do both of them. So that is a new time for civil at 12:30 tomorrow.
Can I just recommend maybe just 15 minutes after session ends? Maybe if we can get started a little bit early, we can finish early too.
Well, honestly, that probably will be when the first session ends at 12:30. So if you could do 15 minutes in, that'll be fine too.
Okay.
So let's just do that. All right. Thank you all very much. That concludes this voting session of the House Judiciary Committee. Thank you very much.